getting close. We're getting very, very close. Getting close to disclosure, but I still suspect it's going to be years away. Anyway, on Friday, June 4th, there's been some reporting. Here's from CNN. U.S. intelligence officials have no evidence confirming Navy pilot UFO encounters were alien spacecraft. But here, let's read a little bit more into this story. It says U.S. intelligence officials have found no evidence confirming that unidentified flying objects encountered by U.S. Navy pilots in recent years were alien spacecraft, but also have not reached a definitive assessment as to what these mysterious objects might be, according to 5 sources familiar with the findings of an upcoming report on UFOs that is expected to be delivered to Congress later this month. According to 3 of those sources, the report does not, however, rule out the possibility they are alien spacecraft. That should have been the headline here, folks. That should have been the headline. I mean, that's the headline. That's the lead. I mean, basically, that's your story. That's your story. That's the big story. According to 3 of those sources, the report does not, however, rule out the possibility they are alien spacecraft. Now let's look at this headline. U.S. intelligence officials have no evidence confirming Navy pilot UFO encounters were alien spacecraft. But then again, they're not ruling it out. That's the story. It should have been, they're not ruling it out. That's the big story here. And there was a New York Times, they were the first to publish this report. Actually, they changed their headlines. They actually started off with a headline that indicated that, what it should have been, that it doesn't rule out the possibility of alien spacecraft. But then they went back and changed it because, why not? Why not just bury the lead? Why not bury the lead? Okay. Now, I don't know who the heck is thinking that the government was going to come out and say, guess what? Yeah, we think it's alien spacecraft. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. This has been getting covered up for almost 75 years now. I mean, there's a faction in the government that already knows. They already know. They've known for a long time. There's a faction in the government that they actually have materials. They actually have recovered spacecraft. They got it. The first one was in Roswell, and they had alien bodies. They already know this. It's known. It's a known thing. I mean, if you do your research, you'd understand this. But yeah, it's a start. This is a start. So this report that's coming up is going to basically say, the way CNN's putting it's going to say, U.S. intelligence officials have no evidence confirming Navy pilot UFO encounters with alien spacecraft. But then the quiet part's going to say, but according to 3 of those sources, the report does not, however, rule out the possibility they are alien spacecraft. That's the part they don't want you to. They're saying it. They're telling you, but in a way that they're not ruling it out. But and then later on in this story, they also bring up the nonsense about, well, it might be, there's concerns that it might be China or Russia. Now come on. And then there's even a little headline here: no proof of little green men. A sub-headline later on down in the story. It says the upcoming report is unlikely to satisfy ufologists who support what's known as disclosure, or the government release of definitive evidence that has been contacted by extraterrestrial life. Oh boy. And then there's a comment here from a congressional aide, unnamed, anonymous, I guess. Most people would be hoping for visual evidence of little green men, which is almost certainly not going to be the case, the congressional aide told CNN. It's ridiculous. I mean, how they put this. They still have the little smirk. It's always delivered with a wink and a nod and a smirk and laugh, and it's just not a funny thing to talk. I mean, it's just not funny. It's very interesting. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's not funny. It's fascinating. And of course, they get into the nonsense with the, like I said before, with the, it might be the Russians, here's what it says here. U.S. officials also cannot rule out the possibility that these flying objects were aircraft belonging to American adversaries, namely Russia and China. a potentially more troublesome conclusion that raises a host of potential national security concerns, one of the sources said. Okay, I got a secret. I got a secret for everybody out there. I got a secret for the whole world. Guess what? It's not Russia and it's not China. It never has been. Okay, look at the pictures and the evidence and the reports that have been going on since the late 1940s. Okay, look at all the evidence. Okay, were the UFOs spotted back then? Were they being operated by Chinese or maybe the Russians? I mean, the same things that people were seeing and reporting 75 years ago, right? The objects that were in the sky that made impossible right angle turns, flew at 10,000 miles per hour in some cases. All these things, they've been seeing it for years, for decades now, and they're seeing it still. So were they Russians or Chinese back then? No, no, no. There's no way. And there's no way that it is today either. Everybody knows this. I mean, if you use your common sense, It's not like these the only videos that have been brought forward that have been confirmed by the Pentagon. They don't. The earliest one goes back to 2004. This has been going on long before 2004. Okay, decades and decades before 2004. Okay, it's been going on a long time. It's not the Russians. It's not the Chinese. But hey, at least we're getting close. They're not saying I mean, I know CNN, and I don't know, maybe they were told to act. I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody from the government said, "Hey, don't play up that little angle there too much about the report doesn't rule out the possibility they're alien. Don't play that. Why don't you just say, start it off and say, hey, we're not saying it is alien. U.S. intelligence. This is How about this? I'll tell you what headline to use. Use U.S. intelligence officials have no evidence confirming those Navy pilot UFO encounters were alien spacecraft. Start that off, and then just bury the lead. Maybe that's how it goes. I don't know how it works. I mean, it seems like they basically, when it comes to the extraterrestrials, it seems like mainstream media. They don't act like investigative reporters anymore. They basically act like press agents, like the press office for the Pentagon. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, they basically carry the water. They don't really dig into it. It seems like I don't think anybody in the mainstream media ever read a real book that dives into these subjects. I mean, there's numerous books out there about Roswell. There's numerous books out there that tell you to explain how the government has dealt with the UFO subject over the decades. Did they ever read any of these books? Instead we get people coming on TV like reporters and acting like it's funny and it's goofy or something. People who believe, like there used to be, people who believe in this stuff or see either they're hoaxers, liars, or they're drunk, or maybe they're on drugs, or maybe they're just psychotic and crazy. That's how it was for years. I mean, that's how it was spun. But meanwhile, during the whole time, people were actually still seeing these things. And guess what, folks? There were a lot of pilots over the decades for the United that were within the military for our government that saw them, and they actually have film. I'm sure they have film. They have very clear. They have better images than what you've seen. These images, these infrared images. That's nothing. That's not even the tip of the iceberg here. I can assure you that they have footage and film and all kinds of stuff dating back decades, since the 40s. They have stuff that they're not just showing. They're just not showing anybody. And because if they show you too much, you're gonna know for a fact that the people who don't believe, then they'll be forced to believe. There's footage out there that they got somewhere put away, nice tucked away secretly somewhere, that I could assure you shows things happening that once you saw it, then you'd be like, See, the government knows. the government knows this. They, a lot of people, there's a lot of people out there who know, like me. I saw one of these things. I believe that I'm pretty certain that, there was an extraterrestrial that was, visited me when I was a kid. You could find that video where I talk about that, and the UFO that I saw back in 1994 also. So I had a couple different incidents there where, um, that convinced me. I mean, I know now. I mean, basically, I know. I mean, when you see one of these things in operation, you just know. But see, I think a lot of people, there's a lot of people who want to believe. They say they want to believe. I'm not sure that's the case. I'm not sure if they want to believe. I mean, if they did their research and read enough information on this, they would know that that this is real. It's been real. It's just a thing. It's just like UFOs. It's just like when you go outside and you see birds flying around, or if you're in the woods and you see some deer running around. It's the same thing. There's deer, there's birds, there's extraterrestrials flying around. They're smarter than we are. They have better equipment, better mechanical devices, and better aircraft, and pretty much better everything, because they're thousands, if not millions of years more advanced than we are. And but see, a lot of people, and then there's a lot of people just think it's ridiculous because they've been conditioned to think it's ridiculous. And all of these people, the people who say they want to believe and the people who just don't believe, the only way they're going to believe is if somebody official in the government, right? They need like a government scientist standing at a podium somewhere in Washington, D.C., flanked by a couple of 4-star generals on each side, and coming out and making a serious statement that, sorry, folks, we lied to you, but for years, because we thought it was the best thing to do. But yeah, extraterrestrials, yep, they've been coming here, and there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, that's the way they would, that's the only way a lot of people are going to actually finally give in and accept the reality. But it's been going on. It's been going on. Anyway, hey, but this is a step forward. I say this is a step forward. There's no question about it. This is a step forward. The fact that they're, saying there's, apparently in this report, they're saying that they can't rule out alien spacecraft. That's the number one solution here. It's extraterrestrials, folks. It's not China. It's not Russia. They don't have that kind of stuff. They don't have that kind of stuff. Nobody does. They don't have things that could defy gravity. As they don't have, they don't have flying machines that defy everything that we think is possible in physics. I mean, they're just like us. And actually, I believe that we're actually better than they are. I believe our technology, whatever they have, I don't think it would compare to what we have technologically. We're the best country. The United States is the best country in the world, the best country of all time. There's no better country. This is the best place to be, United States. Okay, I all due respect to the other countries. There's a lot of countries out there I think are really cool. I think UK and Germany is better these days than it used to be. Like France is a great place. Canada, there's a lot of great countries out there. A lot of bad ones too. I don't think Russia would be a good place to live. So I think Saudi Arabia would suck. But we're the greatest country, United States. There's no question. We're the richest country of all time. We're the most technologically advanced country of all time, and our officials, according to this story on CNN, they're telling us that hey, it's not ours. We don't know what it is, so it's not ours. If it's not ours, I know it ain't theirs. It's not Russia. It's not China. I mean, again, decades. The stuff that people were seeing back in 1950, flying around doing the same kind of stuff that these things are doing now. That wasn't Russia then, and it wasn't China then, and it's not Russia now, and it's not China now. That leaves only one thing: it's extraterrestrials. And that's the end of the story. It's time for people to wake up. All right, thank you very much for listening.